have Matt Diamond from Matt Diamond YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about his journey. He is a stock market. He's involved in the stock market. He does e-commerce, eBay selling, and now he is dabbling a little bit on real estate too. So he's going to share with us exactly how his journey of ups and downs, success and failures, what he encountered to accomplish to become an entrepreneur. So because really I've been following his channel from the beginning. He had his channel since 2014. So I was subscribed to his channel since then, been watching him. So he's gonna share with us everything that he learned with us. So can you introduce yourself? I just gave you like a basic introduction, but
yeah. Okay, so name's Matt Diamond, obviously. I currently live in Salt Lake City, Utah. Graduated from Florida State University in 2011. And since then, I've been kind of on the journey of trading, e-commerce, real estate. And between the three of those, just trying to figure out how to do what a lot of people want to do, which is successfully work for myself. So that's kind of the snapshot of everything up to this point.
Yeah, awesome. So you want to become an independent, you want to work for yourself. That's like the goal of like the majority of the people, that these days, that follow the big names like Gary Vee or like Grant Cardone and all that kind of stuff. But how did you get started to get this desire from? Did you were following somebody, or who inspired you to just jump in and start?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I've always kind of had that feeling of I want to work for myself. I don't know what I want to do, but I just know that eventually one day I want to work for myself. And I think it really came from my dad's side of my family. So my dad has worked for himself pretty much all his life. And my grandfather, so my dad's father, has worked for himself. He started an engineering company. So I got a chance to be able to kind of see entrepreneurship from the inside, right? Just from having my family be entrepreneurs and see the benefits that like that kind of lifestyle where you get to, there's ups and downs. I was able to see that, but the fact that you can work for yourself, doing things that you enjoy doing. So that, I think that was ingrained in me from just the beginning. And then as I got older and social media started to get more popular, I kind of started digging in on, just finding people who are talking about entrepreneurship. And that's when I found Gary Vee. And Gary Vee was a huge influence on top of my family. He was the one that kind of got me really thinking about it, and even sort of got me into e-commerce because of his flip challenge. So he was a huge factor in the start of all of it, as well as my family, because they were entrepreneurs themselves.
Awesome. So you got Gary Vee and then also your family members. So let's just welcome the few people that joined the live stream. I'm Tasha. How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. How's Jason? Thank you, Jason, for sharing the live stream. I appreciate it. Shout out to Jason, man. Shout out to Jason. Share the live stream. I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you for sharing the live stream. Tasha's saying, I love Gary Vee. Yes, everybody loves Gary Vee, right?
Yeah, Gary Vee's
yeah. I watched a video that you posted a few months ago, or I think it was last year, about the 3 people that mentoring video that you mentioned Gary Vee at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those on that video too.
Yep.
I remember that too. So how did did you read his books? Were you watching him on YouTube? How did you stumble across his channel or something?
So I came across his channel on YouTube, and then it was just I caught him before he started doing the daily V's, and I just watched everything. I liked the guy's message. I like everything he was about, right? He had a positive attitude. And the one thing I liked about him is he had a very realistic view of kind of entrepreneurship and the road that you go down. So it started on YouTube, and I just resonated with his personality. And he was one of the first guys to really do it, right? Like, he was one of the first guys who started really documenting the journey, really started talking about it, and then started doing daily V. So when he started daily V, daily V and the vlogging videos, it was just, that was it. I didn't even have to really go look for anybody else or try to find motivation anywhere else. It was just, I really like this guy, and I'm going to continue to follow his journey about what he's doing. And that was basically it. And it was just hit subscribe, turn on notification, and anytime this dude put out a video, I watched it from beginning to end until his message really started to resonate with me. And it's one of those things where, I like Gary Vee a lot. I know not every single person on earth likes him, but for whatever reasons, the personalities just matched. And it was just about being very interested in his journey. So,
all right, cool. I also like the flip challenges that he does.
yeah.
That is something that you can definitely incorporate to your any kind of business that you're doing. But how about for the stock market? How did you started investing in stocks, dabbling into the stock market?
Yeah. So, and then just kind of to let everyone know, and you as well, I'm a trader. I don't invest. Not saying I don't want to invest, but I'm just trading, and I'm trading for income. I'm trading for just to be able to just gather experience, and then hopefully get account. I want to get my account big enough to where I can start investing, so I can have two accounts, right? So I have an account that's specifically for investing, and then have an account that's specifically for trading. Because I think if you combine them, it can get a little dangerous because you get emotional in one, you make decisions in another, you shouldn't. So that's the main goal. I got involved in the market because, so I graduated college, and I wasn't really, obviously I knew what the stock market was. I was familiar with it, but I had no interest. It wasn't until I graduated that I started to get closer with my grandfather, and my grandfather was heavily invested in the stock market. Like that's what, he had his successful business, and a lot of the extra money that he had, he reinvested it and he put it in the market. So I started to get interested then. I'm like, what is this? He's putting a lot of money in the market, and he's able to, obviously there's ups and downs, but we would have conversations where he would talk about how, he put a lot of money in Apple, and Apple went up a good amount. And he would talk about how he was doing well in Apple and he believed in the company. And then just with the conversations from him is when I started to be like, okay, there's a thing here. The stock market's a thing. I don't know what it is, but people can put their money in it and there's a chance to make some. And that was kind of what sparked the interest. And lucky enough, we're alive in a time where YouTube exists, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, all I did was I started typing in stock market stuff, how to trade stocks, how to invest in stocks. And then I went down the rabbit hole of watching, no joke, thousands of hours of stock market related videos, whether it be people who are investing, whether it be people who are intraday trading, and advice, from the top guys like Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, to the smaller guys who run chat rooms who just trade, and that's their, they do that for a living in their business. So that's really how I got involved. And it was one of those things where when you find something you like, it just sticks. There's no explanation on why. You just get into it and you get completely obsessed. And it stuck. And that was it. So from that point forward, it was watching videos every single day. And then my grandfather kind of sparked that fire, and then I just rolled with it. And YouTube allowed me to just keep going further and deeper into what it was, and then how to start building a strategy and a game plan about what I wanted to get out of it,
Awesome. So Hidden Freedom Dave says, just sub to your channel.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that was interesting. So you spent a lot of hours and you got inspired by your grandfather. What was he doing? Was he long-term investing or?
Yeah, long-term. He was a huge believer in Apple. And so he put a lot of money in Apple, and long-term. He's not doing anything that I do now, right, as of right now. He was putting a lot of money in, and with the belief that 10 years from now, he believes Apple is going to be a stronger and better company. And his investment at that point was going to be worth more. So long-term.
Yeah, long-term. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, you just mentioned that you watched a lot of content on YouTube and a lot of strategies, Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett. I'm sure you watched a lot of videos, different strategies from different people. So what made you specifically decide to, narrow your focus to day trading the markets?
So what narrowed my focus was, one, not having a ton of money to work with, right? And that shouldn't stop anybody from investing. But my personal goals out of the stock market was I wanted to make an income, right? My goal was one day I want to make a full-time income out of this. What's the most realistic way with not like a substantial amount of money to where I don't have to deal with massive ups and downs, right? Where if the stock market pulls in 3, 4, 5% one week, I look at my portfolio and I freak out. I go, oh, I can't do this. So I went, okay. And then from some videos that I watched, people were like, why don't you try some recommendations where if you have a smaller account, which a lot of people do, why don't you try shorter term trading just to get an understanding of the market, understand how to even execute orders. Most people in this world don't even understand how to buy a stock, right? Or how to buy an option. So I just started, that was my education. That was the way that was my, how to learn how to even be involved. So I just started trading pretty shorter term. And then that's what I liked, and I was able to make a little bit of money on an account that wasn't that big. And then I just stuck with it. And then I came up with a game plan of, all right, I got to stick to something. This is my game plan moving forward. I'm going to go shorter term because I like the idea of getting involved in stocks that have a lot of momentum, right?
Yeah.
And then hopefully I can build an account one day where when it's big enough, pull out and then have 2 accounts for longer term investing and shorter term. And honestly, my personality just fits shorter term.
Awesome.
So it all worked. I was able to kind of just analyze myself and realize that when it comes to making money in the market, if I can, I do like it from a shorter term perspective because of the ups and downs. So that was it.
Cool. Awesome. So it definitely fits your personality. So Solid Finance is saying hello, everyone. Hello, Sam. Welcome to
everybody.
Live stream. Welcome to live stream. We're talking to Matt, who's sharing with us his journey through this stock market. So you narrow down, you focus is your personality, focus day trading. What kind of stocks do you like to day trade? You just mentioned momentum, right? So are you specifically right now, are you trading options or are you trading the stocks? And what kind of stocks do you like to trade right now?
So I'm trading options, and I trade options on almost the same stocks every single day. I focus on the tech stocks, the big movers. And not every single one of them is moving every single day. So what I do is I find the ones that are moving. Like, for example, recently, Shop and Roku have been on fire, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I just find stocks like that are very liquid, right? They're not penny stocks that can get pumped and dumped. The ones that the funds are in, they have a lot of money involved in, and I trade those stocks around breakout levels. But just to give you the group of stocks that I'm trading almost every day: Apple, Baba, Facebook, Netflix, Tesla, occasionally Amazon, but Amazon is really expensive and the options are very expensive. Roku, Shop, and those are pretty much it. And then every now and then I'll trade one that's a little different. But those are my main focus. Stocks that cannot get pumped. You don't have a guy in a chat room who's pumping the stock to 6,000 other people. It spikes to 6 and then closes at 3 at the end of the day. That's not an organic move. So I focus on those big, those expensive stocks that the funds are all in. And then I'm just waiting till they are either in a very clear downtrend or a very clear uptrend. And then all I'm doing is a lot of the times the strategy I'm using is long pre-market highs when the market is up, because I want the wind at my back. So I want the market up that day. And then when those are up, wait for a technical pattern and a break of pre-market highs, and I'm going long. And I'm trading options.
Cool. Awesome. So you have this bit. Let's welcome people that are watching. Ryan, welcome to the live stream. We got Bert.
Ryan.
What's up? How's it going, man?
Tesla.
Man. Yeah, what's up, man? Ryan Giffen, man. Ryan Giffen, he's a real estate investor. He's in Florida, but we'll talk about your journey about your real estate later on. But he has an awesome channel. He talks about real estate and things like that. Everybody has an awesome channel here, but we're going to talk about it in the future, but in a few minutes. But as you mentioned, you have specific watch list that you have. So you have this specific watch list, and you only trade these stocks that actually break out in the pre-market. And what is like your specific strategy? Are you buying the calls and the puts? Are you trading spreads? Like, can you give us a specific snap of like the strategy that you use?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm trading naked weeklies.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh man, that's risky, bro. Oh, but anyway.
Well, it's risky, but in those moments where there's the breakout, it's almost the same as trading the equity, right? Because let's say Shop has a breakout at $400 and I want to go long at 400. If I take the 400 weekly option and Shop goes up $5 and I was able to catch a 5-point move in 1 hour, the weekly moves a lot as well. So it could expire worthless the next 4 days, but I'm not worried about the next 4 days. Let's say it's a Monday and I go long and it moved 4 points. The option moves as well. I'm closing the position. I'm out.
Yeah.
Weeklies are risky, but they're risky when you try to hold them to expiration because something like 85% of options expire worthless. But that's when you're holding them. I am pretending as if I'm trading the stock, as if I'm trading equity, but I'm using less capital by just buying at the money calls or puts. That's it.
Also, on the options, there's a term called theta, yeah.
Delta, Vega. Yeah, I know a little bit about those. I know how it works. That's when you're trading spreads, like credit spreads, debit spreads, which I'm familiar with. Those all come into because you're trying to ride those out to expiration because most options expire worthless. That's over a period of 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
It's hard to predict where something's going to go 5 days from now. It's not hard to predict, or it is, but it's less difficult to predict where something is going to go an hour from now. So that's where I use the arbitrage of a weekly option because I can buy a weekly option for a few bucks on when Roku goes up 6 points in a day, if it does, and I'm able to. Those options move, and they move a lot. Now they may not 5 days later, but I don't hold them that long. So I'm a short-term trader for now.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much answered my question, but Dave was asking you: is he trading high delta and the money stuff?
I trade at the money.
Yeah, at the money. Okay.
At the money. Yeah, so high delta at the money.
Awesome. So yeah, as the point I was trying to make was like the theta, the time decay is not going to affect it if you're just going to be in and out on the same day. So that's actually pretty good.
Absolutely.
There's an interview that we did with Hector Martinez. He's doing a challenge, trying to grow his $100 to $25,000. Now he's currently at like 3.4K, but he's really experienced like with options and stuff. So he taught us a lot about what is doing, the strategy that he's using, and all that. So do you do any kind of advanced like call spreads, like frogs or whatever?
I don't.
Strategy. You just narrow it down to, that thing. I like that, man. I like that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I want to eventually. It's not like I don't. Here's where I noticed a lot of people have problems in the market, and even I did initially, and this is why it's taken me so long to feel like I turned a corner, because when you focus on so many things at once, you end up becoming an expert of nothing, right? So if you're like, all right, I want to invest. I also want to day trade. I want to get good at penny stocks. I want to get good at learning how to trade option spreads, and I also want to day trade weeklies. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna wake up and be so stressed and freak out, and you're gonna go nowhere. So the way that I realized I'm gonna succeed is I used to have all those thoughts. I want to do a gazillion things at once, and then I reverse engineered how to get there, and I went, I got to become really good at one thing at a time. So that's when I said, I don't have a huge account right now, so I'm going to focus on directional option trading. And that's it. And I just how you get really good at that, build up consistency, and then move on to the next thing and focus. And don't go crazy because that'll drive you nuts. At least me, I can't manage all those things at once.
Awesome. So Berg is saying I'm headed over to his channel.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, check out Matt's channel. He talks about a lot of different things. So now, also, you do e-commerce, right? You do e-commerce. You do eBay selling. Like, how did that thing start? Of course, you follow Gary Vee, right? So he does a lot of flips. He talks about you can make. I watched like a thumbnail of his like trash going. Like it was some weird stuff. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. He's good. He's good at getting attention. That's what he's good at.
I was like, what the heck is this guy doing, man? Yeah. Well, that stuck with me though. Yeah, but so you got inspired from him, like reselling. How did that thing start? And I know, like for me, I never sold any items like on eBay and stuff. But how did you start, and what made you, to start it out?
Yeah. Okay. So, as you know, trading is very difficult. A lot of people make it seem like it's easy, and a lot of people make it seem like they make a substantial amount of money doing it very quickly. 99.9% of those people are not telling the truth. So when I went down this trading journey, I went all in. I didn't just commit 1 foot in. I quit my job. I said, I'm going to quit my job. I have some money saved up. And within this amount of time, I'm going to try to figure out how to make not a lot of money, but enough to just pay my basic bills. And along that journey, I realized I just took on the impossible. A lot of stress, and that's not the right way to go about this, but I wanted to burn the ships to give myself the best chance possible. So don't even think, let's go. About a year and a half in, I started to realize I'm not consistent yet, and this is very stressful. I have to figure out another way to make money that's not like a 9 to 5. So I can have the freedom to be able to continue to trade and then be able to make a little bit of extra money on the side to help with the pressure, right? Because if you just wake up and try to make your money every single day trading, that's an unbelievable amount of pressure, and it usually doesn't work out. So I started Googling how to make money, other ways to make and I came across selling stuff on eBay. And just like trading, that's where I started to go down the rabbit hole of what to sell on eBay, and get to know the items that sell, the brands that sell. And then Gary Vee started talking about eBay and flipping stuff, and I went, "Oh, this thing is real," because now he's talking about it. And that's when I said, "This is something that's very real, and it's easy to get into. You don't need a ton of money to get started. As a matter of fact, you can start with your own items in your own house." So that's what I did. I started like nice clothing apparel that I had, or an extra pair of shoes that I didn't wear that were in good shape. I just went on YouTube, how to sell a pair of shoes on YouTube. Took pictures, learned how to list them, right? Go through the process from A to Z. And then when I sold one thing, I went, whoa, I want to sell a lot more. And that's when I started continuously digging. Okay, what brands sell? Because I wanted to go into clothing. And then I went, okay, what stores can I go to find stuff? And that was it. And it was just continuous learning, right? You see a little bit of success, and then you just keep going. So that's how I got into that. And then I gave myself a goal. And I went, all right, I have 7 listings on eBay. I want to get to 100. Boom, get to 100. Great, I just sold $1,000 worth of stuff on eBay. I want to get from 100 to 200. So that's all it was. And it was slow goals of, this actually works. I'm making a little bit of money, not making a lot of money. And then just progress every day. Go through the routine, finding new inventory, learning how to pack and ship, learning how to buy things right, understanding the margin on items, and then understanding the costs, so you know that the profit is there and you're not losing money. That's all it was. That's it. It was just learning every day.
Awesome. So you started the eBay selling business to supplement your income so that you can balance, your trading, so that you don't bleed out, you need income coming in at that time. So that's really awesome. So we have Shane that joined the last week. Thank you for joining, Shane. We have a few comments that are just popping up. Just J Max, and just started a position this past week in eBay stock this past week as partly because this trend. Okay. Yeah, definitely. If you want to take the island, you have to burn your boats, man. Baby, let's talk about that, man. You got lots of balls, man. It's quitting your job, jumping like the trading, man. Like, how'd you come up with that decision, man?
I don't even know how I came up with it. I just remember, actually I do. So I was in a job I didn't like, probably like most people. I first graduated college. I went into the corporate world because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. And I was very unhappy for the first few years out of college because I was working jobs I didn't like. And I always had conversations with my dad. I'm like, I gotta figure out how to work for myself. And he was super supportive, right? Because he works for himself. But he always said, you gotta figure out kind of the angle, right? You gotta figure out what you like. You gotta take your shot. That's when I, found the stock market, was interested. And then I was reading a book. And I was on like my last straw. So unhappy. About to lose my mind. Like, I hate this. I don't like going in. I don't like my routine. I don't like the job, but I got to fix it. So I got to figure out what do I have to do to get out of this rut? And I was reading Gary Vee's book. I don't have it in front of me, but it was the book about marketing or something. I think it was one of his first books that he pushed really hard. And there was a page that I read in there that said, if you're at your current job and you're to the point where you feel like you are about to lose your mind and go absolutely insane because you hate it so much, then I recommend you jump even if you don't have a solid plan. Because even if you fail, it's worth taking the shot and continuously being super unhappy at that job. And I called my dad the same day and I go, I think I'm going to go try to trade. I have no idea if it's going to work, but I got to try it. I don't want to go into work tomorrow. Like that's everything. I hate it that much that I got to try something. And he said, you're single, you have no kids, you don't have animals, you don't own a lot of stuff. If there's any time to take a risk, it's right now. So he goes, I support you 100%. And I went, I'm done. That's it. And a couple days later, I put my 2 weeks into my job and I left Florida. So I'm going to go down this journey and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's all. That's all right, man. Dude,
I didn't even think I had no responsibility. So it was the real answer is why wouldn't I do this right now? I was like 24, so that was it. I just did it.
Awesome. Yeah, so I like the fact that you actually, talk to people, to your dad for advice and things straight up like cutting the cord and doing it yourself. Bert Corner is saying, I tried and failed a bunch of businesses starting a business.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's hard. Everyone makes it seem like it's easy. Starting your own business is the most difficult thing to do. Not on Instagram though. Everyone's got a Lamborghini on Instagram, but the reality of it, it's very hard. So if you fail, there's no reason to be embarrassed by it. The fact that you took a shot is incredible.
Yeah. So Ryan is asking you, where in Florida were you?
So I was in Boca Raton. That's where I lived most of my life. I was in Boca from 7 till when I moved, which I think I was like 25, 26. So up until that point, it was Boca, and then I'm now in Salt Lake City.
Awesome. So Shane is saying, I'm basically in the process of failing a bunch right now until I make it, man.
It takes, man.
Yeah, you just got to learn from everything.
Very hard, very selfish path. And by selfish, I mean you go through an intense process of figuring out who you are. When you fail a lot, and especially when you have a lot of people who may not agree with what you're doing. Lucky enough, I have family who was very supportive of me. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, rat's mouth, Boca. That's funny. I couldn't imagine going down that road, having family that doesn't support me. It'd be impossible. So.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I've seen you move, to Florida and back into Utah, but you in Utah, right? Your family's in Utah, right?
My family's in Utah. So my mom's side is here. And then my dad is in California. So everyone was here. They slowly kind of moved out. And then I was the only one there. And it all kind of aligned. It's like I got family in Utah. I got family in California. I'm still here. I got a job I don't like. I have this thing I want to try. What am I doing here? I'm getting up and I'm going to the West Coast, and I'll see what happens 5 years from now.
Yeah.
So that was it. I just didn't think much. I just went with it, and I don't know where that came from. It wasn't like I told myself. I just didn't even think. I just said I got to do this. I packed my car up and left. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you just got to take out the first step.
Yeah, just got to go.
Yeah, just got to go. Who makes it happen is saying, loving your energy, Matt, man. Look
Thanks, man.
Yeah, Matt got a solid energy, man. Yeah, got a good vibration. You got a good vibe. I know you've been meditating and stuff. How did that help you though? You've been meditating. You meditate a lot. Let me ask you that, right?
So I used to. I don't as much anymore, but I'm a big fan of it because I think you're able to calm down a bit, right? Like at least. I didn't understand how stressful the journey of trying to get to the next level of entrepreneurship is. And when I say next level, I mean just make a living. I'm not talking about buying a Ferrari. Next level of I just kind of was reading about ways to cure stress, and meditation came up, and I never was really into meditation. And then I downloaded an app called Headspace, and I tried it. And, this is kind of cool. And I just started doing it. I haven't done it as much anymore, but I go to the gym a lot. So that's my form of meditation. I wake up very early. I go to the gym in the morning, and that's my way of just relieving some stress. You have to have one way or another. I think meditation and the gym and like running, things like that are key. So you got to have something because it's very stressful. Meditation, it's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. If you're trying to do a business for yourself, there might be a lot of stress that might come up. To have a very good, stable mental, physical balance, spiritual also, to have a good balance to be able to deal with all the stress and all the things that come with it together. So
absolutely.
Good question, Matt. As Dave was asking, how is the FBA business working out?
So I don't sell on Amazon. I'm not an FBA seller. I was trying to, but that was hard to figure out. I currently sell 100% on eBay. And so far it's going okay. I know I have, just so everyone kind of knows where I'm at, I have like 710 listings on eBay, and usually do call it around $5,000 a month in sales.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I wish I could do that, dude. I need
Remember,
to.
that's not all profit. It's
Yeah,
not all.
that's not property. You have to.
There's
There's a
cost in
cost.
there, but my cost is very low because I figured out how to go to. I go to the Goodwill outlet, which is where I buy things by the pound. So I get clothes by the pound. So I'm able to get usually a piece of clothing, and I focus on all athletic stuff. So like Nike, Under Armour, Patagonia, the North Face, Eddie Bauer, all sorts of outdoor and athletic brands, and I get them for typically about $1 a piece. And my average sale price is about close to 20.
Yeah, dude, that's
And it's
solid,
it's
man.
selling a lot. It's just selling a lot. It's lower average sale price, but try to sell as much as I can.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you do on Goodwill. And I also made a video about how to build like a trading setup and stuff. But I built all the computers from Goodwill stores so I could get
Yeah.
it for cheap. But Money Matters, Matt from Money Matters saying, "Hola amigos, hola señor." What's up, man? How's it going? Thank you for joining the last stream. Appreciate that. Just here to soak up all of the 411
Yeah.
knowledge. 411. What's up? How's it going? Welcome to live stream. I appreciate it. So Ryan is saying Elon Musk started a business is like gargling glass while starting which
Yeah.
starting
I
into
remember.
the sun.
I remember.
Staring into the sun. Okay,
I
staring.
remember Elon saying that because he was trying to say how hard it was. So
Yeah. It's really hard to do it. But nowadays, compared to the days when like Elon Musk started his business, now it's kind of there's a lot of tools that you can use. There are a lot of YouTube videos available for you to from zero to whatever point that you want, as long as you want to spend your time to it.
yeah.
Like saying, I used to love eBay, the 110% is crazy, and then the 2% PayPal never used to be like that.
Yeah. But Amazon's fees are more. So just so you know that.
Amazon fees, oh, cool.
They're more than that. They're like 15, 20%.
Yeah. So Matt saying, "Damn, what a strategy. Maybe I'll do this when I'm fired." So, how many hours a week are you shopping for discounted items? This is arbitrage, right?
Do you want me to answer that? Do you want me to answer it right now? We'll go into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a routine. It took a very long time to figure this out. Keep this in mind. I did not find success selling on eBay it took me a while. I was always able to sell a little bit, but I had trouble figuring it out. So my strategy is, and anyone can do this. You can start an eBay business with $20. Now, you're going to have to continuously roll that profit back in until you get to hundreds of listings. But this is the store that I found that I have the most success at. So there's a store called Goodwill Outlet. A lot of people call it the bins on social media. It's where Goodwill sends all of their items at their stores to the main warehouse to sell it to the public one last time before they get rid of it. And I think that they send it to third world countries to benefit others. So wherever you live, if you Google Goodwill Outlet and then the city you live in, you'll be able to find one. They're in most cities, and you walk in and it's a huge warehouse with big blue bins, and it has shoes, toys, books, and clothing in those bins, all unorganized. So you have to put in some work. You got to go through everything. And I go for about an hour and a half, 6 days a week in the morning. I go from 9 to 10:30, 6 days a week. And I go through not every single item, but I go through every bin. And I'm probably touching 2,000 pieces of clothing. And I'll walk out with, call it 10 to 15, sometimes 20 pieces every time I go in. So that's how I've been able to find a lot at one time. I used to go to Goodwill's every day, and I would walk out with like 2 items. And I go, you can't start a business. You can't grow a business with finding 2 items a day. You got to find 20, 30, 40. And that's when I came across the Goodwill Outlet to be able to get a lot at once.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great strategy, man.
And they're typically $1 a piece. So if you start with $20, you can buy 20 items, or call it 18 items if they're a little bit more than $1. And then you have your first 18 in your eBay store. And then you go from there. And it's just continuous rolling back in at that point. But one of the cheaper businesses to start, but it's also hard because you got to keep going.
Yeah, you also have to spend time to it
Yeah,
and have keep the inventory in your place and kind of package it, all that kind of
I
fun
have a
stuff.
garage where I store all my stuff.
Cool, cool. So let me ask you. I know there's like a Goodwill story, like it's kind of close by and stuff. Let me ask you. So you buy these items, so you have them. Do you wash them and things like that, and make them look fancy, or you just like package them, take a picture? How do you the process work?
I'll tell you the process. So I don't wash them unless for some reason they like really need to be washed. But I'm when I find an item, I want it to be in good condition when I find it. I don't pick something up that's gross. There's no reason to deal with that. Focused on finding the stuff that's in good condition. One, because it's less work for you. There's no reason to make extra work in something like that. Or even like I saw somebody just said Patagonia. All great brands. These are all great brands to sell. Wants to check Patagonia items, all that. So I go in there and I look for stuff that's in already pretty good condition, right? Lightly used. If it needs to be washed, like, oh, there's a stain I didn't see after the fact, I'll wash it. But for the most part, I'm not washing it. And then I go back to my garage and I have a setup. I have white cardboard that I bought at Walmart, and I have a lighting kit that I bought on eBay for like 40 bucks. And I have the lights that bright on that white cardboard. I lay the item down flat, no wrinkles, and I use my phone on my iPhone and I adjust the brightness to very bright so the background looks perfectly white and it almost looks like a magazine. So it looks good. The presentation is good. I haven't done here in my garage. I got all these books, aka just kidding. I got these T-shirts behind me. But that's what I do, and it's a super bright white background. They look clean, and I just take a handful of pictures. I don't go overboard. Front, back, maybe a close up of the logo, and then the tag.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome. And then you just post it online, and then
I just post it on eBay, and I do it through the app. You got to realize I'm doing all this through the app on my phone. This is the most powerful device that we have right here. All I'm doing is I'm going on my app on eBay, and I'm taking the pictures from my phone, and I'm creating the listing from eBay. And then I'm just importing the pictures from my phone onto the app, filling out the basic details of what it is. It's a men's Nike long sleeve athletic dry fit T-shirt, size large, post. Boom.
so how do you come up with the price? You just go on eBay and search the same kind of item, and then you
Yep.
just look at the price, and then bam, you just look
Exactly.
at the price. Man, that's
That's it.
solid.
Just like when you're buying a house, how do you know what to pay for it or what the seller's gonna ask as far as price? You look at the comps in the neighborhood. I do the same thing with the clothing brands, or I sell a lot of sneakers, electronics every now and then too. I just look at the comps. What are they selling for? And I see 7 that sold in the last 2 days. And I go, okay, it sold for 25, 30, 20, 18, 22. All right, looks like the average is 25 bucks. So I put $25, and if somebody makes me an offer close to that, I take it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like that. I like that, man. The strategy is just kind of once you got the habit lined up or the routine kind of lined up, it kind of gets easier, right? In a way, you can just pick up the items and then just the routine of taking the pictures, uploading them, setting the price, things like that. How does do you get issues with people, customers like returning the items and
Yeah, yeah, you get returns. It doesn't happen a lot. I get the occasional return, but out of everything that I've sold. So I wish I could have like shared my screen or done things a little better. But I sold like a little over 4,000 items on eBay, and out of those, a very small percentage is returns.
Cool. Awesome. So, okay, yeah, the audio is kind of weird, but let me ask you a question. So, how much percentage that do you have to pay for eBay? Let's say you start for $20. How much to just establish the store and everything like that? How much? What percentage does eBay take the cut? Yeah.
So when you sell an item, eBay takes 13%.
13%.
They take 13%. But remember, they're bringing the buyer to you. You don't have to go find the buyer. All you do is post a picture. If you were to take the T-shirt that you're wearing and go try to sell it online, normally in normal circumstances, you'd have to go make your own website. You'd have to go do Facebook ads to drive traffic. You're talking thousands of dollars just to get somebody to buy that one shirt. Now, how do you go find more to make up for those thousands that you just spent? You're negative. You're running an unprofitable business. eBay, as long as you learn how to buy things really well, that 13% comes off the top, which most businesses 13% is very small. A lot of businesses run off a 30% margin. I typically run off closer to 60.
Wow. Oh,
I'm buying really cheap, and eBay is providing me with the buyer at cost of nothing. I don't pay for their website. I don't do anything. So you have to factor that in, because 20, 30 years ago, before eBay existed, you had to pay for all these things. And they cost, before you even made your first sale, you probably were $50,000 in the hole. Because you got to buy a retail store. You got to pay, you got to lock in the lease. You got to buy a ton of inventory. You're already way red. eBay, you can spend $1 on a shirt. You're only investing $1. The rest of the investment is your time, because it takes 20 minutes to take pictures, post a listing. And if you sell it for $20, you're already a profitable business. It's a really small profit, but you're profitable. So people don't see it like that. They get a little too greedy, and they think, oh man, they take 13%. They're doing all the work. They created the website. The buyers are coming to you. You don't got to look for them. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, you got to think of that.
How about Facebook? There's a Facebook marketplace. Have you dabbled in that too, in other websites, and Amazon too? Amazon FBA or something. Have you dabbled in other sites? Why did you specifically focus on eBay?
So I focused on eBay because it was the easiest.
Okay.
Right? Because I had a pair of shoes I wanted to sell. You can't sell shoes on Amazon that are used. Okay. So I went, what's the next biggest marketplace that everybody knows of? eBay. That was it. So I just went to eBay, took a picture when they sold. I tasted some success. So I went, let me just focus on eBay instead of doing, kind of prior to the conversation, focusing on a gazillion different things at once. Oh man, I made my first sell on eBay. Let's go do Amazon. Let's go do Facebook. Let's go do, no focus. So I sold one item and I went, let me stick with this. Let's see if I can make this work. And that was it. But I have dabbled in Facebook Marketplace, but Marketplace is more for, like, if I find a really big item, like if I find like a bike that I pay $5 for and I want to sell it for 40, like I use Facebook Marketplace. But Facebook Marketplace very rarely. 99.8% of the stuff that I sell is all on eBay. And as far as the Amazon question, because I'll answer that, and I know somebody in here mentioned, I have been trying to figure out how to get onto Amazon. Amazon is very tricky. So I have not been able to really figure it out, but the two business models that I have looked into and know a good amount about is wholesale and private label.
Wholesale and private label, you haven't done anything besides that?
That's the only two that I'm familiar with and that I see there being somewhat of an opportunity. I think wholesale is tough because a lot of people don't want to sell their product to a third party, and then you just go right on Amazon and sell it anyways. Private label, I think, is a big opportunity. The thing is with private labels, it's hard to know what's really going to sell. I know you can use things like Jungle Scout and some software out there, but it's tough and it's capital intensive. You can't start it for $20 like eBay. It takes thousands. So you got to be prepared to invest like $5 to 10 grand to see it through. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
So there was a question. So what's like the average shipping cost for like shirts and like pants and things like that?
Yeah. So average is about $3.30.
$3.30.
It's under a pound. So anything under a pound is considered first class, and it's around $3.50-ish on average. Call it.
Also, Ryan is asking you, what is his channel about? I think it's really asking.
My channel?
Yes.
So it was heavily about just trading, right? That's the only thing I focused on. And then I wanted to start expanding into a little bit more about just kind of who I am and the things I'm interested in, and then more about the journey of trying to make it on my own, not in just the trading world, So it was, all right, these are some other things that I'm doing. I also sell on eBay. I'm trying to figure out Amazon. I'm also trying to figure out how to just deal with the pressure and the journey of entrepreneurship in general. But I'll be honest, I haven't been as active on YouTube as I need to be. So I will try. So the channel is still it just stops like 2 weeks ago. But I'll do my best. But that's really what it's about, just kind of my journey.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely your journey in the stock market.
Yeah.
E-commerce, and you also did some real estate investing I saw on your Instagram. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. But Ryan is asking, I have 2 cars I'm trying to sell so I can buy my Tesla. Oh, cars have been sitting. Any tips? Because I saw on your Instagram, Ryan, you just post when people actually send you the price, and you respond them back with the crazy, emojis and stuff. You're like, are you serious? You just offer me this amount of money? But yeah, advice for Ryan Giffen.
As far as I have no idea. I have 2 cars so I can buy my Tesla. Cars have been sitting in tips. I have no idea. Lower your price. The reason things don't sell is because of price, period. Either condition or price. But at the end of the day, condition still is directly correlated to price, because if you have a really bad pair of shoes and you only ask 50 cents, somebody's probably going to buy them for 50 cents. If you have a really bad pair of shoes, you're asking 20, you're most likely going to get no people interested. So in all reality, everything is price. Everything. Stock market, stuff you sell, cars, economy, everything. It's all money. So if you're trying to sell them and nobody's biting, lower your price.
Interesting advice. So Dave is, although I've sold and bought a car, welcome Saeed. Thank you for joining the live stream. They let their friends steal their car and sell their parts and get the insurance money. That's why it was a high insurance rate. So that's you can sell the parts too. Welcome Kevin and Eliza. Yeah, thank you, Kevin and Eliza. Always take people down, man. True, I need more seed money for the Tesla. Yeah, Ryan is into Tesla, man. He used to get that Tesla. That would be awesome.
Yeah, just start flipping stuff on eBay and have your eBay fund pay for that.
So now let's go into, you started investing in the stock, in the real estate. What inspired you, and how did that deal kind of came up with?
Yeah, so I've always been familiar with real estate, and I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone. So I listen to Grant Cardone a lot. He always talks about multifamily properties and
10x.
He's always selling something, and he just talked about multifamily and passive income. Even though I think there's no such thing as passive income, but I get what he means by that. Like, passive is in you're not clocking in every day, and then that's when I got interested. So when I moved out here, I actually had a conversation with my family, and I said, hey, it's hard to do this on your own, invest in real estate, because it takes a lot of money. But if we come together as a group, I think as a group we can buy some property, because now it's better to own a piece of something than 100% of nothing. So that's when we all got together and we said, hey, let's start looking for properties that are affordable in an area that we think is going to appreciate with decent rents. And we just started looking. And my family is from here. I'm not from Utah. I'm familiar with Utah, but they're from here, so they knew the market. And we just started talking. Hey, if we were considering buying something, where would we buy? And we looked in the cities where they were affordable, but also where they were growing, because Utah is growing really fast right now. And then we just started looking at properties, right? Call an agent and just go look at them. And then after a while of doing this and talking about it, we finally closed on our first deal. We bought a fourplex, and so far it does good. We make money on the rent, and now it's just about holding it and then hoping that it appreciates enough, and then we're going to use that to be able to hopefully roll into bigger deals, right?
Yeah.
Just go from there. So that it took one. So it started with one. We got our one, and just that's it. But we came together as a group, because as individuals, this is tough to do. You got to put down a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. So with a group of the family people. So the properties in Utah, right?
Yeah, properties in Utah.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely, man. Just to do it. Is it with the family that you did the entire deal with? What kind of property is it for people? Is it like multi?
It's a fourplex. So it's a multifamily. It's a fourplex. There's four rooms under one roof.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm here just.
And we just so people know, we make about $700 a month profit on the rent, but we're not taking that and paying ourselves. We're using that to just miscellaneous stuff comes up, right? There's issues, and we roll that back into the property when needed. When there's issues, we use it to pay for an issue. When it's time for upgrades, we're going to use that money to upgrade the property to hopefully add value, and then sell it for more down the road.
Cool. So that's $700. That's really good, man.
It's a start. It's a start. We're not trying to make a living off it. You never make a living off deal one. You just learn how to do it, right? You got to learn the process. You got to learn how it works. You got to learn the lingo. You got to learn how to talk to tenants, because I've said that in our role, in our partnership, that I'll be the one who deals with tenants. So you learn how to pick the phone calls up, talk to them, deal with them, how to solve problems when they have issues. It's all good skills to gain. And the fact that we're able to make money on the first one, which is good, hopefully it'll just kind of roll into some bigger ones down the road,
Awesome, awesome. So Q is asking you, Matt, do you have any money goals?
Money goals. I mean, everybody has money goals, but I actually do. I have a vision board that I have in my garage. I'm not there now, but I pull it up. So, I mean, just like the crazy of what I want is I would like to make $1 million a year one day. And I have on my vision board, it says a $10 million net worth, make $100,000 a year in the stock market, and own 100 rental properties. Is kind of that's just the goals. As far as how I'm going to get there exactly, I still don't know, but they're there. So those are goals.
Awesome, awesome, man. I love vision boards, man. They're really fantastic. They really help you visualize, attain your goals, and they definitely can help you out too.
Yeah.
I like that it's specific to that. You have your real estate net worth, all the other things. Do you have like pictures also for your vision board, like properties?
I have a picture of the SPY, right? S&P 500 from like 20 years ago all the way to today. And then I have above that, make $100,000 a year trading. I have a rental property, right? A picture of the first rental property we were interested in that we didn't get. I took a picture of that. And above that, I put 100 rental units. And then I also, another part of that vision board is I'd like to give back. So for some reason, I ever got to a point one day where I was doing really well, that I give back, help people, actually do something that provides, to bring value to the world rather than just be a dude who's sitting on money. So I have a picture of people like holding hands, like happiness, right? Like doing well by one another. Yeah. And I wrote, give back in a way.
Cool. So, awesome, man. That's fantastic. Matt saying, my brother had a good product selling, then 3 months later got mail saying it was a copy of a patented product.
Yeah.
That's when I thought it was possible.
FBA is, people don't realize that. Like I know I keep going into this. I don't mean to interrupt. Social media makes it seem like trading and Amazon are just, you become a millionaire overnight. It's very difficult. This is not, all that is mostly BS. It's super, super difficult. And there's a lot of little things that are tied into it that people don't know. And you figure out the hard way while doing it. You're in the middle of trying to succeed and you just get shut down. Because you go, wait, what? A patent product? I had a copy of this? Are you kidding me? 3 months in, this is a surprise. So for anybody watching, like if you're trying to sell on Amazon or trying to trade for a living and you're struggling and you feel like, why can't I figure this out? Everyone else seems to have figured it out. Just realize those people that are flaunting like they figured it out have not. They're making it up. It's very difficult. So it's good to know this going in, so you're prepared mentally that you're probably going to fail a lot. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, when you start anything, there's a possibility of you actually not succeeding. So Q says, that's big. I love it. Shoot for the moon. Just talking about your goals. And Ryan is saying you're going to do it, Matt. You can tell he is super focused, man. Dude, yeah, Matt, man. Look at Matt.
Ryan.
Yeah. Ryan has also had his goals written, and he actually wrote a check for himself, man. That's solid. Just like Jim Carrey, baby. Just like Jim Carrey.
I'll be honest. Look, I have these goals written down, and I feel lost every day. So just so people know the mindset of somebody who's trying to actually work for themselves, it's like you live in this balanced world of things are going great, and then the world is coming to an end. It continuously fluctuates. At least for me, I have a week where I go, man, things are good. I feel good. Everything's good. And the next week, I think I'm going bankrupt. I got to stop all this. So it's learning how to balance.
Yeah, definitely. Matt's saying, too bad, Bert just left. I currently have rental properties out there. So there's a question from Matt. He's also asking you, Matt, are you house hacking? Are you single, married?
So I'm not house hacking, and I'm single.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So
I know what house hacking is, and house hacking is like, let's say you buy a duplex where there's 2 rooms under one roof. I would buy it. I live in one. I get somebody to live in the other one, and essentially they're helping pay the mortgage. So I'm not paying the full mortgage on my own. I'm using their rental income to pay it down. So if the mortgage is $1,000 and I charge them $500 for rent, I'm only paying $500 out of pocket. So I'm paying half the amount that the mortgage would normally be to me, and it's an investment property down the road. So if I move out, I can rent both of the spaces for $1,000. Now you make money. So I know what house hacking is, but I'm not currently.
All right, awesome. So Kevin from Adventures in Us is saying the focus and specific goals are insane. Way to go, man. Way to go, Matt, man. You're inspiring people, man. You're inspiring me too,
Appreciate it. I
man.
still feel lost every day though when I'm going through this process. You got to realize
Yeah.
they're there, but I wake up and go, man.
Yeah, definitely, because you have to go back and revisit. So I was about to, somebody made a call. Okay, yeah. Financial Bliss Point. Thank you for joining the last stream. We appreciate it. I think it's your first time last stream. I appreciate that. A million a year, good vision, man. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. Just that you start. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. You just have to take the first step to start. So now let me ask you this question about, you said at Grant Cardone, like when you get involved into the real estate, have you looked into investing to his funds or his Cardone Capital thing that he's doing right now? Have you tried to do that because you said you follow him to get in real estate?
Yeah. Have I tried what to do what he's doing right now?
You try to invest in his fund, yeah, because he's
Oh no.
all right.
I know what his fund is. I haven't, just because I'm trying to use the money I have to create my own little real estate business. So if I were to give it to him, I no longer can use it for me. And we saw good deals, so I wanted to allocate the capital I had to our own property versus his. I think what he does is great, but right now I wanted to own my own property rather than give it to somebody else. Maybe down the road, if I had a ton of money, I would just give it to him because it alleviates stress, right? Because you don't have to go deal with the tenants, you don't have to go deal with a property problem. And if you have $1 million and you give it to Grant Cardone, you're probably going to get a decent return with no stress, because you don't have to be the one who picks up the phone from a tenant problem. You don't have to be the one who fixes the problem and pays for it. So I would, but I'm not that guy yet. So it's right now, we can't, as a family, we come together as a group and say, let's do this on our own, and hopefully it'll work out. But I think he's awesome. I think it requires a lot of money to make a decent return with him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Uncle G. Ryan's saying subscribe to his channel with notification exactly to see more content. So definitely, yeah. Do you have if you want, like Ryan is also into a lot of real estate. He has a specific strategy that he uses, like refinancing the property that he has to get cash out.
Yep, probably the Burr strategy through.
Yeah, yes. Now look at you, man. You know stuff, man. That's what I'm talking about.
I educated myself. Yeah, what is it? It's buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. I get it. We're doing that. We're trying to do the same thing, except for we're not necessarily buying ones that are like that need to be like a really motivated seller. We're buying a decent deal. It's a little beat up, add a little bit of money into it, and then hopefully down the road it depreciates. So kind of similar, but a little less motivation there because we're buying them from MLS, from the market.
Awesome. Yeah, we had a live stream with Ryan at the same time, and he explained to us all about the Burr method.
And I only got, it's only one property right now, so it's not like some massive portfolio. It's one fourplex, but it's a start.
Yeah, it's just his fault that you. Yeah, definitely. So let me ask you this other question. So for people that want to get involved, that want to start into their journey of being self-employed, that want to be self-employed, they hate their jobs, and what if you went back? I know you made a video about it on your channel too. What's like the best advice that you can give to start in the markets, also in real estate, but just to give us the basic foundational advice.
First piece of advice: don't quit your job. Don't quit. Do it on the side. There's no reason to give that income up. Oh, the peace of mind you have when you're working a job, even if you don't like it, the peace of mind you have knowing that a paycheck comes in is crazy. It changes the game with being able to emotionally stay stable with the ups and downs through entrepreneurship, not the Instagram world of entrepreneurship, the real world, right? So don't quit your job, and then do everything. Try to build whatever you're doing on the side. So if you want to sell on eBay, the cool thing about eBay is eBay doesn't close at 5. You can leave your job at 5. You can go to your local Goodwill outlet. You can say, I'm going to spend an hour, 3 days a week, right? Everyone has time. You sleep 7 hours a night. You got plenty of time. I'm going to go in there for 1 hour, 3 days a week. I'm going to get items, and then I'm going to take 2 days a week, and I'm going to post all those items. Make slow progress if you wanted to do that, right? And trying to make a full-time income from eBay is really hard. I make enough to pay my basic bills, but also tip number 2, keep your bills as low as possible, right? Like, I don't have kids. I'm 30. A lot of people in the world think by 30 they need to be married, they need kids, they need everything. I used to think that too. I don't think that at all anymore, because I realize that I'm very young, even though 30 may not seem young. So, so I would say keep your bills as low as possible. I mean, if you drive a really nice car because you're trying to make yourself look cool, that you have to drive a Mercedes, get rid of the Mercedes, get a Prius, right? Like, are you willing to sacrifice to actually do it? Get a Prius, because now your payment's lower. If you go to a really fancy gym that's super expensive because you like it, cut the gym, go to one that's cheaper. And then all of a sudden you start chipping away at your overhead, and now you're getting ready to take the jump if you decide to do so. Because when you make that jump, making money is not easy. So if your overhead is really low, and you're lucky enough to not be married or not have kids when you make that jump, because if you bring them along, it's very stressful. Those are great things to do. So I would say, don't quit your job until you have built something. You have to have proven it, right?
Yeah,
and keep your overhead extremely low, and then try to find other individuals that are doing similar things to you. So whether it be a friend who's also in that world, or if you don't have any, because I didn't have any friends that were really in that jump. So when I made this jump, they kind of thought I was crazy. Go to networking groups. So go to like meetup.com and type in real estate if you're interested in real estate. Type in stock market if you're interested in stock market. And go to one of those groups and then just sit in and try to meet somebody if you can. Because if you can find somebody who understands your journey and you're able to talk to others that understand the crazy world of entrepreneurship, because it's massive risk, then at least you can bounce ideas off of another crazy person, right? Because if you go try to talk about your struggles or your problems with somebody who's not in your world, they're not going to understand. And they're going to look at you and go, oh, cool. Well, I went out last night and had a great time. And you're like, wait, I'm focused on this goal. I'm focused on this thing. And they're talking about things that are not even, you're not in the same wavelengths, you know? So you got to find people who are also on that same journey.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, meetup.com. That's a great site. I use it to play tennis, to meet up people that play tennis. But yeah, I can definitely use it to meet up people that are interested in real estate, the stock market, and all of that fun stuff. And that's very good advice. Don't quit your job. But when Grant Cardone talks about, it's great to have multiple flows of income, trying to establish it, but don't lose the first flow, that you're getting, which is your stable job. When you're trying to pursue the other flows,
quit your job. Don't do that. It's very stressful. I did it. A lot of people do it. It's not easy. So always keep them. Or here's another example, since we're on the topic. You don't have to not have a job. It just can be a different one. So let's say you want to go. Let's say you live in Florida. The market opens at 9:30 in the morning there. You can't. It's very hard to trade at work. So let's say you have a 9 to 5. Well, what if you went and became a bartender? Or what if you went and you became a waiter? Yeah, maybe it's not the degree you got, but who cares? If it provides income at hours that are different from the thing you're trying to do, let's say you want to be a trader. What if you went and became a waiter and now you had the majority of the day to trade? And then you became a waiter, so you changed the career path a little bit for something that you want to do later on. So it's that short-term sacrifice for hopefully the longer-term benefit, but still not guaranteed.
Yeah, definitely. So welcome to Gen X dividend investor. So Money Matters is asking you, can you give the details behind your fourplex? How you bought it, loan type, down payment, do you own or occupy it, all future plans, how you handle vacancies, all the juicy details.
Yeah.
Matt wants the details, man.
Yeah. Okay. So details on the fourplex. How do you bought it? Conventional loan. So the down payment was 25%. And you do own or occupy? No. Future plans. We bought in an area that we believe is going to appreciate, right? So hopefully it does in, call it 18 to 24 months. And if there's enough money there, we'd like to roll it and do a 1031 exchange into a bigger deal. So instead of go to a fourplex, maybe buy an eightplex if it's available, if it's for sale, something like that's for sale. And I would like to do that all the way up to 100 units. So continuously do 1031 exchanges, which essentially just means that the money is tax-free as long as you find the profit is tax-free as long as you find another property to buy within a certain amount of time. I think it's like 180 days. So you don't have to pay taxes on it as long as you buy another property. If you take all that money for yourself, you owe taxes on it. And then you do a 1031 exchange. And I'm hoping to get to enough units where the cash flow from the units will then start to really be decent, where the monthly profit's enough to take it like a paycheck from, like Grant Cardone does.
So did you owner occupy it all? You answered all those questions, right?
Pretty much. And how do you handle vacancies? Just like anything else. If somebody, a 30-day notice, right? We haven't had to deal with any yet, but if we do, all it is a 30-day notice, and I just stay in touch with them. They know who I am. 30-day notice, and when that happens, I'm going to blast the property out on all the channels online, right? Zillow, rentals, the local rental marketplace here, and then just get a new tenant in and get the property ready and have them move in. So that's it. And I've never even, honestly, this goes to show you, you learn as you go. I've never dealt with a vacancy yet, but I already have a plan in place, right? And it may not be a good one. I don't know, but you got to I'm just going with it. That's the plan. See if it works out.
Yeah, just try it out. That's the first one. Just dive deep. Just jump in and figure it out, maybe. Yeah.
Very limited experience in real estate. Very limited right now.
There's a quote by Uncle Cheap: "Commit first, figure out later." That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So Kevin is asking you. Okay, before we move on, but Money Man Matt also asked you: have you had to handle evictions yet?
No.
That you said no. Okay. Kevin was asking you also. Now we went back to the e-commerce. And Kevin asked you, when you sell on eBay, how much does shopping cut into your profits? 15%.
What does he mean by shopping? Like, how much is the cost? Like, how much is my items cost, or like the actual time?
How much does shopping?
I'll answer probably how he meant it. When you sell on eBay, how much does shopping cut into your profits? I go to Goodwill Outlet and I buy clothing and shoes and electronics and stuff by the pound.
Oh, you said shipping, not.
Oh, okay, because it says shopping, so I thought he meant like.
Yeah.
Shipping is on average. I'm spending about $350 per item, so I'm netting. I net about 60% margin. So eBay fees, cost of goods, shipping, and everything is about 40%. Call it 40 to 50%. So the margin's really good, and it's low overhead because I don't pay rent. I don't have employees. I'd like to have employees one day because you can only grow a business by having employees. So overhead is about 40 to 50%.
Awesome. So Financial Blitz Point says, seriously, Matt, great advice. You can do something in the short term to continue to build a career that you want to step into. Like trading, copywriting, freelancing, EDC are all flexible options.
Yeah,
yes, definitely.
Absolutely. And they may be a step down in pay, right? Like, if you want to do something long term, you may have a job where you're making 60 grand and then you go be a copywriter or a waiter and you're now only making 40. Well, that's where that advice comes from that I mentioned before, where if you cut back your expenses, you can pay your bills in hopes that you live out this dream. So you have to sacrifice. Like, the amount of sacrifice that I've taken since I started is crazy, leaving friends, right? Like moving away from friends and having those relationships end, going through crazy ups and downs of having some trading days where you lose a lot of money and then you question, what am I doing? Why is this doesn't feel right? And just because it sucks in that moment, like I just took a hit. I lost a good chunk of money today. This doesn't feel good. It's all sacrifice. And this is a road that is not easy, my friends. It's a very difficult road, but hopefully if you can make it through, it then becomes the success because you go, man, I'm doing what I want. I don't have a boss. Hopefully you're making good money. I've achieved these dreams. But up until that point, it's not easy. You guys sacrificed a lot. So I'm glad that that person recognized that. Do other things,
Yeah, Tasha's saying that is something that Gary Vee talks about all the time.
That's where I got it from. I got it from him. There's no need to recreate anything. I just listened to him. So I went, he's got a great point. Keep my overhead as low as possible and just keep working. Hopefully one day it pays off.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, as I mentioned, I've been following Matt since 2014, and he's been going up and down, and he trading, making profits. Sometimes the trading journey is also up and down. So let me ask you, like, how do you deal with it when you actually when you have like a big loss and you want to quit, you quit, and how do you just come back to it again and again? Like, how do you handle that mental struggle that you have?
Yeah. So I think, it's been 3 years since I've been trading, and I've just recently felt like I'm relatively consistent. And by consistent, it doesn't mean making big money, right? So like on average, I try If I can make like $300 to $500 a week, I feel great, right? Because it's consistency. I'm not worried about trying to make a substantial amount of money because I used to do that. And then I used to make foolish decisions. I would hold a loser a lot longer than I need to, and that number got a lot bigger. But the way I deal with it is, so I traded for about 2 years, right? I think I was two and a half in-ish. And I was just kind of in a bad spot mentally because I was so stressed out about not being able to make a full-time income trading that I was like losing my mind. So I had to take a break. I took a break for 6 months. I stepped away from the market and I stopped looking at screens because it was at a point where I was so stressed out that I went, I got to take a break. I can't keep pushing the way I am every single day, looking at charts all day and just continuously stressing about it. So I took a 6-month break and I came back. And what I did in those 6 months is I said, stop expecting to make a full-time income trading. Trading is my hobby. Hopefully one day it becomes an income. It's a serious hobby. I take it very seriously. This is the most serious thing I take in my life. But don't expect to make a full-time income from it. Just develop the process to get there. And focus heavily on making eBay more of a full-time income. So eBay is my job. Trading is my side hustle. And the moment that I wrap my head around that, the self-awareness of saying, okay, stop trying to make a full-time income out of trading and just worry about just doing it, going through the grind every day, is when I started to make some progress. It's mostly mental, and it's expectation. Because if you look at social media and everybody claims to have made a lot of money in the market and in this and that, but if you ask to see proof, they can't provide it. It's because most people don't. It's very hard. Even the top guys in the world, the guys that work at the biggest hedge funds in the world, they have a hard time consistently making money. So when I had this talk with myself, this pep talk, is when I started to turn the corner. Because if I took a loss, I just went, I don't feel good, but whatever. And I would turn the computers off, I would leave, and I would go work on eBay. All right, now I'll go to my job. eBay's my job. Let's go work on the job today, and then I'll come back here tomorrow. And when I did that is when I started to feel better about all of it. And it doesn't feel good. Like when you lose money, it doesn't feel good. It's not like that ever goes away. You just learn how to take the hit a little better mentally. It's just mental toughness.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
That's it.
Yeah. Also, you adjusted it. So the way you dealt with it is you adjusted your expectations and your priorities. From making day trading your full time, you just adjusted it, and then you created another priority in your life and you introduced that. So that's a great way to do it.
And then and the moment I did that I set myself straight as far as expectations mentally is when I started to find consistency and I started to really understand what exactly my strategy in the market is and exactly where I need to take positions and just manage the risk.
Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like the stock market, everything you do, even if you're doing a long-term investing or day trading, short-term swing trading, it's all about risk management when it comes to even business, even in life. You're managing every day.
Yeah, and by the way, just so everyone knows, I don't mean to plug my own situation, but I'm talking about trading here, and I don't really highlight a lot of trading on my YouTube channel, but I have a Twitter account, and I post my weekly P&L, so it's real. I'm not hiding it. So if anybody wants to follow me, it's at the Matt Diamond with 2 T's.
Cool.
So if you want to follow my trading journey specifically, I post there almost daily.
Awesome. Yeah, you can type the underscore. I mean what do you think of the Twitter, the whatever thing that they use to follow? So
I posted my handle there. So at
the Matt handle. Yeah, at your handle. Yeah,
and I post a weekly update, whether it's good or bad. If I lose money, I take a picture. If I make it, I take a picture. There's no hiding like most other people.
Thank you, Jose, man. We appreciate that. You just posted his handle, man. Look at that, Jose. Shout out to Jose, man.
Appreciate it.
Saying you're already winning in my eyes.
Too. Yeah.
I put it, you're already winning in my eyes. So there's a question from Matt. Matt is asking you, let me just put it on the screen. He's saying, ever considered dropping trading and going full-time arbitrage, turning profits into your next RE down payments? Curious how many hours you spend trading versus putting time into what's proven profitable.
I am profitable trading. So it's not like I'm not profitable. It was the first 2 years that I was struggling, 2.5 years immensely. The last the last month and a half and you can see on my Twitter. So that is profitable. And honestly, I spend about an hour a day trading. So there's no reason to give that up because it doesn't take a lot of time. And then I have the rest of the day to do eBay. And remember, I'm single with no kids. So I don't dedicate time to hanging out with my wife or my kids. So there's no reason to drop trading because trading is working. It's just not full-time income, but I can make anywhere from call it 300 to 500 a week ish, with sometimes weeks flat, sometimes weeks you lose a little bit of money, but it's profitable. So, and I would love to eventually go full-time real estate, but we're not even close to that point yet. You can't have 3 properties and say, all right, I'm going full-time real estate. I guess maybe you could, but that's tough. Once again, you're not really making a ton of money at that point because you haven't sold any properties off. So you haven't been able to take a lump sum or refinance to get some money out, or the rental income is not going to be high enough to be able to pay yourself a salary. So you got to be doing some other things. And these are the things until hopefully you get them. And I like trading. Like I'm actually passionate about it. I don't want to give it up. I like the routine. I wake up at 5:15 in the morning here. I go to the gym. And remember, this is mountain time. So the market opens at 7:30 in the morning. And I typically trade until 8:30. So before people even walk into their 9 to 5, I've already had half a day. And then when 9 o'clock comes around, what do you think I'm doing? I go into eBay and I have a full day ahead. So I get up before most people, which allows me to work out and take part in my passion because I genuinely do like trading every day. I could talk about it all day with anyone. And that's why I document it on my Twitter account so I can be involved and connect with other people.
Awesome, man. Let me ask you a quick question though. So, okay, Hidden Freedom says that he has an Instagram. Yeah, he just posted the link for his Instagram. So yeah, Dave, Matt from Money Matters saying, I got you. Let me ask you a question from, you just told us a little bit about when you're day trading your option strategy, you use the pre-market highs. Do you have specific profit, like let's say you get in the money really quickly, is there a way that you manage your profits? How many percentage of, for example, let's say you have 15-20%.
Yeah. So
what's like your profit taking strategy, and also how do you manage your risk, your loss taking strategy?
Yeah, so I'll tell you exactly how I do. And honestly, if anybody could look at charts, I could show you an exact example of it because Friday I traded Lululemon. So just for example, Lululemon had positive earnings, right? So they gapped up and they made a new all-time high pre-market, right? So what I did is I jotted a line and I made it green because that was my trigger to go long, which I think was 121 because I'm obsessed with this stuff. So I think it was 121 was the line. And what happened is Lululemon pulled back in the morning, right? So it pulled back, it stopped pulling back, and then buyers came in and it started to make its move higher. The moment that it came close to making a new high, which also coincided with pre-market highs, I went long. Stop is now low of day, right? Or near low of day, or I usually use some sort of consolidation pivot low or low of day. And I think I got like 2 points on Lululemon really fast. That was my profit. I don't necessarily have a profit target like I need this amount. When I get anywhere from 50 cents to 2 points really, really fast, I get out because that's a big move really quick,
Yeah.
And I'm using at the money options. So they're already pretty much in the money the moment that stock goes above my entry,
So on average, like what's the percentage of profit? 10, 15, 20%?
Call it 20 to 50 on the money that was put to work in that specific trade because I never take an options position size. So like I'll even go through it and people can go on my Twitter and they can even see. But so I'll even show you my Lululemon trade. I bought 3 calls. I think they were $1.40 a piece, right? So I bought 3 calls. I think they were $1.40. So I was into the trade for 140 times 3. I was into the trade for like $420, $500. And on that, I made $142, and that was Friday.
Awesome. That was solid, man. That's solid.
That doesn't happen every day, but that's just because I can give you a real concrete example of the trade that I did. Like I'm doing this. I'm not a guy who says he's doing this and not. I'm doing this every single day. And tomorrow, I actually have a setup that I like. I like McDonald's long above 221. I did my charting over the weekend, and as long as we don't gap above there tomorrow, if we stay below that and then we push through that level, I'm going to go long calls, probably 221, 222 calls because it's liquid, and I'll have a stop at low a day. and we'll see if we get the breakout because it's near all-time highs. And the market is probably going to gap up tomorrow because we've been on a run. So as long as the market is up, the wind is at my back, and 221 breaks while the trading session is going on, I'm going to go long. So yeah. I know it's probably a little crazy, but that's it. And if I get a point or two fast at a McDonald's, I'm out. I don't hold forever. I'm out.
Yeah. So let me ask you, how about for your risk? Is there? I know you said that you look for the pivot point, the low of the day. Is there a percentage amount that you, let's say you're down 10-15%, you just cut it off, or it was just based on the chart? You just okay.
I use the chart 100%. I do not look at the option. I use the chart, but I'm trading options, so it's a really cool way to arbitrage, like I'm trading I'm trading equity. So I just use the technicals on the chart. And a lot of times I like to enter. If I'm going short, I like to use high of day as risk. So I try to get an entry close to high of day, so the risk is tight. And if I'm going long, I use low of day, so that way the risk is tight.
Yeah, definitely. So Money Matter from Money Matter says, I love making the McDonald's chickens. I also like the McDonald's dividends.
Dividends. Yeah, that's long-term stuff. One day I'll be involved in that, but McDonald's pays good dividends as well as
a lot of if you ever consider going long-term investing, you can use Ammo Finance. You can use Jose's link. He's been dropping your Twitter, your Instagram.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Go check out his channel. But speaking of, we were talking about day trading, right? Look at that, day trading with Chris, man. He's just popping in the live stream now. How's it going, man? Welcome to the live stream, man. Day trading with Chris.
Yeah.
What's good, man? What is good? Yeah, we're talking about trading now. You got Matt. Matt Diamond from his YouTube channel. We're
talking trading, talking the market. Feel free to message me. If anybody wants to message me to just talk trading, I love talking about it, and it's really good to talk to somebody, because if you're trading alone and you're trying to figure it out, it's very hard because you're in your head and you're just sitting there alone. So if you want to message me just to have a phone call and just talk the market, I'm all for it because I love talking about it.
Awesome. Yeah, Jose said, I knew he was going to say that. Let me ask you a question. What is your account size right now? How much capital are you risking to make those kind of profits? What broker are you using? Are you using Robinhood or what?
So I use Interactive Brokers, and I usually never take an option position that's larger than $1,000. My average options position size is right around 500.
Okay, so your average position size is half of that.
Is about $500. Occasionally, if I'm trading an expensive stock like Amazon, and say the options are $6 or $7, but I have a feeling that there's a chance that Amazon's going to break out because it's a technical level above, the market is gapping up. I'll buy an option which will cost me $670, so it'll be a little bit more, but it's still relatively cheap considering it's Amazon. But I only every now and then am I trading Amazon. For the most part, my average size position is 500, which is tiny.
When you think about it, though, yeah, it's kind of tiny.
But options, it's not. It's a decent option because options are essentially leverage. So it's for every option, it's you're trading 100 shares, and I typically take 3 options at a time. So it's I'm trading 300 shares at a time.
Yeah, and also, you just said that you trade that almost close to the end of money. So those are kind of expensive too, in a way, when you're trying to buy, especially the names that you're talking about, Amazon, Apple, and all of those fun stocks. So it's kind of expensive to have all of that.
But that's why I trade. That's why I trade at the money, because it's a little less risky. You don't have to have a massive move to be profitable. At least shorter term. I'm talking shorter term. Remember, I'm closing these positions out same day. Different story if you're holding until expiration. That's why I choose at the money, because they're a little bit more expensive. But if the stock moves $1, they'll fly because they're high delta. So they'll move almost cent for cent with the stock. It's a very cool arbitrage.
Cool, awesome. So Dave is saying that Interactive Brokers is one of the best platforms for day traders. So cheap to trade.
Very cheap.
Better than Robinhood, right?
Well, Robinhood is free, but I know this is gonna go over a lot of people's heads. And most brokers do this, but the reason Robinhood is free is because they sell your order flow to the larger institutions. So they see where everybody is essentially positioned, and they usually trade against it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why Robinhood is cheap. I know
zero.
Yeah, a lot of the institutions sell their order flow, but Robinhood is notorious for selling all of it, and they give it to everybody. So if everyone is long Tilray, TLRY, the wheat stock that went to 300, it's trading at like $24 right now. It's because when it was trading at 300, every person who thought they knew what the stock market was long, and all the funds know essentially where people are long. They're selling them. They're selling stock to them, right? They're getting out of their positions, and then 2 years down the road, what happens? It unwinds, and now it's trading like $25. So, not saying you can't make money when Robinhood. It's just I like the more professional broker, and IB is cheap, very cheap to trade.
How much does it cost per contract? Like, let's say you buy and sell a contract for you, like how much? $1 or $2?
70 cents.
70 cents? Okay, when you buy, you pay 70 cents, and when you close, you pay 70 cents?
Yep. On average, I'm paying about like $3 to $4 a day.
On average, okay, not bad at all. Have you tried what's like Tastyworks? That's kind of the famous broker that they have too.
Yeah, I haven't tried it, but so what I want to do is I want to open up a Tastyworks account eventually and use that for more longer term option spread trading, where it's more investing.
Yeah, more of investing, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot
of longer term, like 30, 60-day trades, things like that, not the intraday stuff I'm doing now, which is a little crazy. So that's what I would like to do.
Yeah. So how did you sell? What person, like, I know you did trading and stocks, but you transitioned to options. Like, who are the people that you are learning from right now that you follow, that are inspiring, that you like, that you think that they're solid mentors for people that want to get to know more about options?
Options trading, I kind of just learned. There wasn't even really like a YouTube channel that was around options so much. I kind of learned options through just reading about them a little bit, right? And then understanding how they worked. And the craziest way was just actually doing it.
Yeah.
Trading. Like, I got an understanding of them. And then I don't even remember what channel I saw exactly. I think I just typed. I don't think it was one person specifically. I'll name some others as far as trading in general. They give good advice. But when it comes to options, I think I just typed in like how to day trade options, and I found a video that kind of explained the general way of it working. And I got a little bit of an idea, and then I just started doing it. So I learned the hard way by losing and going, okay, all right, I get it. And then it's just, so it was my own way. Like, you can read as many books as you want. You can take as many courses as you want. The only way you're really going to figure this out is by getting your hands dirty, and it means losing money. You're going to lose money, and it's not going to feel good. But when you lose money, you try to learn from that, right? And then you do it again and again and again and again, times 1,000 times, if you can stay alive, you figure it out. So it was just my own process of constantly critiquing to finally get to the point where I felt comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
There's some guys on Twitter that I can recommend if anybody wants to check out.
Jose saying, yeah, definitely, yeah, shout us out. But Jose saying, options is the eighth wonder of the world. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
A lot of people lose money in options, so they're kind of.
Yeah. Tell us, because I know there's a guy that I follow too. His name is San Lucci. That's not his name, but that's like
San Lucci. He's the man.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from him too.
Dude, he's flexing on us like a lot. Like, man, I made 40 grand this week, or he's flexing on every day, man. Like 10 grand. Like, the way that he talks, he's really into it, and he's making a lot of money, but he's really not trying to flex on anybody. But that's how he manages his account too. But
for
people that just
big account too.
He has big account.
Seen his account size?
Yeah, he trades like 100K, 100,000.
He's got $1 million account.
Yeah, it sounds like, he's $1 million account too. Yeah, that's
account. That's a different world. That's a whole different world. You can make big, but also there's big losses. So that's a whole different place mentally.
Yeah, definitely.
But Sang Lucci, if you want to put that in here, Sang Lucci is a guy who is great for everyone to learn from. Also on Twitter, there's a guy, Smash the Bid. Who's an operator. He's good too.
Smash the bid, smash the like button, everybody. We like that. So yeah, Jose's saying I got an MBA and still don't get them. Come on,
Yeah, they're tough. It's confusing. It's very simple once you get it, but when you first try to go down that road, it's super intimidating.
So Q was asking you. Okay, Shane is saying ninth compounding is the eighth. Definitely, definitely. So Q was asking you, what does the return go? Where does the returns
Returns
go?
go. Not sure I understand 100%. Where does the returns go to what?
Like for example, let's say you made a profit. Are you investing in it? It's going to be in your account. If you made a
No,
profit, it's
I'm
going to be
just
in your
growing my
brokerage.
account. I'm trying
Yeah.
to grow my account so I keep them in the account. I'm not like make $40, take $40 out. It's not that. I'm keeping them. The returns I get in a trade, I keep in the account because I'm trying to grow the account. I want to go from a small account to a big account. The only way to do that is to keep the money that I make in there and try not to lose it.
Cool, cool, cool. So Jose's saying you gotta use both sides of the brain when doing credit spreads. Come on,
Now,
man.
do you want to know? You want to know what would be like a good credit spread right now on Roku?
Dude, Roku is like a
Because Roku has gone bonkers. So if you were to write like way out of the money, if you were to do like a way out of the money call spread and you did a shorter term trade, like a week or two, Roku's not going to go up forever. It will eventually pull back. And it's at levels now where it makes sense that it'll pull back because it's so extended. It's not going to go up straight forever. Those are the perfect type of opportunities where if you were to write fall out of the money call spreads,
yeah,
and
man.
you did like a week or two out, like you're probably going to be okay. I don't think Roku's going to 200 in 2 weeks. It's already gone to 170 and jeez.
It was just Roku was just ripping off every time that I log into Robinhood, like 52 week high, 52. Oh, what the Roku? Cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just nuts, man. It's been well going insane, yeah. So let me ask you, like, what's like the maximum profit that you ever made in like a single trading option? Because people made
I think the maximum was like $900 in one day.
dude, that's like how many percent of each game is that? Like 1,000?
No.
100%?
I think it's probably like close to 100, right? Because if I put like $1,000 in,
Yeah.
I just happen to get the random home run where I had a massive move really quick and I held on for a few more minutes and it kept and I took the profit really high and it was like, oh, that moved a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah.
$900, but that's not common. That's on average. My gain on average is probably right around like $100 to $120 a day, average. The loss is probably like right around $50, $60. So that's average. But I had a good trade this week. I shorted Netflix when Netflix had a gap down. It gapped down on news that, like, I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was real news or not, but they were saying Disney was considering, this was like made up. I don't know if it was really real. Disney was considering giving free accounts to people who left Netflix. I think it was a rumor. So Netflix was selling off heavy pre-market.
Man.
And I actually took a trade on it. And if you follow me on my Twitter, you can actually see it. I took a short on Netflix. I bought 3 puts and I made $232.
That's solid, man.
And that was a big gain though. Like it happened to work out well and it was a quick trade. So
yeah, the fake news, man. They might move markets. And Netflix been selling off.
Yeah.
It was like 300. Now it's like 280 something.
Yeah, Netflix is in a downtrend right now, so any pop is usually getting sold hard.
Yeah.
That'll probably change one day, but they're not as competitive as they used to be. There's a lot of other competitors come to the market, and people like growth stocks. The moment they feel like you can stop growing is usually when it becomes tough to keep going higher.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, keep saying gotcha. That's what I thought. You got to roll for sure. So let me ask you a question. So have you done any kind of paper trading when you try to get into options or trading? Because I know you just jumped straight into it, but have you dabbled in paper trading and things like that?
Not really. I went right into it. I did what you probably shouldn't do, and I right into it. I mean, I remember funding an account the first time I traded, and the first day I took a live trade. Now I was paper trading, like looking at charts, and I was back testing. So I was looking at a chart. I'd look how it played out throughout the day, and I'd say, okay, based on the knowledge that I know, where would be the spot to go long and where would be the spot to go short. And I would do basic back testing like that. And I looked at a ton of charts for like a while before I finally made my first real trade. But that first account that I started, live right away. And I don't really recommend that, but I do not recommend paper trading for a long time because paper trading avoids the emotion that you feel when you're in a trade, and you need to experience that emotion, because you have to learn how to control it. And when you learn how to control it and also clearly think about what you're doing is when you start to make progress. It takes a long time to get past that point. So I would not recommend paper trading forever, because you'll be so comfortable. You'll be paper trading. You'll be look at your profits. Like, I'm making like $400 a day paper trading. Let's go live. You click the button when you're live and you freak out and your body freezes and you lose $600 and you go, I don't know anything. I don't know what I learned the year I was paper trading, but it's gone, because this is a different game once it's real money.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit, but not really. It was pretty much all in right away.
Wow. So yeah, the paper trading is like, let's say that you open up a new account, a new broker, and let's say you open up an interactive brokers and just do paper trading to test out the executions, how to place orders, and how to
to learn how to use the platform.
Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. You can use that too. And also, if you're testing out a different strategy, you can definitely try to do, for example, for options. Let's say you want to learn credit spreads, you can open up a Thinkorswim account and try to understand how to place a trade, how to create spreads, how to create frogs, or whatever kind of strategy that they have for options trading, So that is something there. So that's my stock tip Tuesday. I got you. That's what I thought. You got to roll it over. I think so those are all comments. Yeah. But so if you guys have any questions for Matt, you're definitely welcome. But let's talk about your YouTube channel. So you started your channel 2014. What's like the goal? Did you try to make more content in it? Are you going to add to it? Like, what's the overall goal for it?
Yeah. So the goal is I want to try to add a little bit more content. I don't know if I'm going to ever get to a point where I'm doing it like daily, or hopefully maybe I could try more a couple a week. But the most important for me right now in my life is just trying to get farther ahead in the things that I'm currently doing. And the things that are currently working is trading, eBay, and real estate. So those are my main focus. So, YouTube is kind of like a little side thing that if I occasionally get some time and I have a cool idea to talk about a video, great. But that's about, I don't have any crazy expectations to, like, I want a YouTube channel where I have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and making a full-time income. It's not there. Maybe one day, just not right now. Once again, back to my focus, trying to focus on a few things that are working, try to become an expert in those things, and then take on another thing. That's what I've done. I took trading on first, then I took on eBay, became good at both, we're trying to be, and then now add real estate. So it's one thing at a time.
Awesome, man. I like that you're focused and you have specific goals or targets. That's awesome, man. That's, the first, yeah, if Gary Vee was watching, Uncle G was watching, be like, way to go, Matt. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's all I'm talking. Yeah, but guys, check out his YouTube channel, and I'm gonna drop the link into. I want 100K subs. Let's just try to add, Rico Jose back. Let's just try it one more time, because he said he disabled the checkbox for his StreamYard settings. So let's see if it will work. If there's not going to be any backup.
Okay.
Hello, Jose. Now it works. Yeah.
Hey,
it's gone.
Wait, let me grab my mic. There you
go. Hold on.
Sound good? Sounds good.
Let me rearrange it. Yeah, now we're back. Yeah.
No.
Look at Jose, man.
We're back.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, dude, now there's no back echoing thing,
You
sure? Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds perfect now, but yeah, I should have got back on, man. Sorry about that, man. You just told me because on the private chat, you said,
hello, everyone. I was in the backstage, behind the scenes, doing my thing. So.
Yeah,
look at Jose, he's back though. Yeah, but Jose wants 100K, and he wants to, get his YouTube account.
Well, yes, but I want to, I don't want to have to go back to work. And I just want to do YouTube full time.
Yeah.
But also, Jose wants to also learn, options. He's been watching videos about options, he told us, but once he funds his Robinhood account again too, he's going to start dabbling in options. But is your strategy, based on your experience, what's the good strategy to start to learn options? What's the ideal strategy?
That's such a crazy,
hard, right?
It's a very complicated question, because it's not me, right? I'm not you. So I can't give you a strategy because it's not. I got to figure out what kind of personality you have. And my personality is more of like pretty quick and pretty aggressive. So that my trading style is like that. I'm taking really short-term aggressive trades, and they either work quickly or I'm pretty much getting out, and that's it. And then it's just the law of numbers. Continuously follow that, and the law of numbers. They should hopefully it should be a positive number. But from the beginning, I would say your strategy should be just learning about options. Don't even trade them right away. Learn about what they are and how it even works, and then maybe take a shot on something. And here's the cool thing about options. Options it's mitigated risk, meaning, let's say you like Apple and you want to go long Apple, and you pull up and you want to go long a call option, which means that you make money if the stock goes up. Let's say the call option is $2. Being that it controls 200 shares, right? That's the leverage on it. It would be $200. You can buy an option for $200, and that is your max risk. You will not lose more than $200. So if you think Apple is going up, you could say, I think it's going up. I'm willing to risk $200. And if Apple goes to zero, you only lose $200. So if you really wanted to learn, the very first thing you could do is just say, I believe this is what a stock is going to do, and I'm willing to put in what I put in, I'm willing to risk. So buy options that aren't too expensive. Like, don't play Amazon. Play like Square, AMD, cheaper stocks, and then say, I think that they're going up, and this option is going to cost me $120, and I'm just going to let it either work or go to zero. Because you'll also get a taste of what losing feels like. It's not a good feeling. And if you want to play the stock market, you have to get ready to lose a lot. You have to be ready to lose a lot. So if you take your first trade and you lose, it's a learning experience because you got a chance to feel how losing feels like. So that could be your strategy. Now, is that end all be all? Is that the way that you should go forever? Absolutely not. But it is a way to say, hey, at least you got started, right? It's better to do something and lose money, especially if it's something you want to learn, than just do nothing and constantly read. You read about it, you watch a YouTube video, nothing happens. You read about it, you watch a YouTube video, nothing happens. Put real money to work, and either you make some or lose some, but you learn a little bit from it. You know what I mean?
So the minimum amount of cash that you need to have to buy an option, a naked option, because it's 100 shares, it'll be like $100.
No, sometimes they're less. Sometimes they're way less. It depends on the price of the stock. If you're trading,
I buy an option for like a call for $20, right? And I buy like you said, it's 200 shares. So if with a call option or whatever of like $15-$20, I can lose up to like $200, like you were saying.
Yeah, kind of. So, I mean, it's going to be a little complicated to understand the exact pricing of it, and I don't want to get fully into it because I'm not a complete expert. I know the very basics.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to trade a cheaper stock, the options will generally be cheaper. So don't really worry so much about the price of the option versus how many shares. Any option you buy, if you buy one option contract, it's essentially like you're trading 100 shares.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry so much about the price of it and what's associated. Like, if it's a $20 option, it controls 200 shares. That's not how it works. It's just, if you're trading Amazon, options are going to be very expensive because Amazon is like a $2,000 stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you trade AMD, the options will be cheaper because it's a $32 stock, right?
Yeah. Okay, so the price of the option is relative to the price of the stock.
That's why they call options the underlying. It's an underlying asset because it just follows, it tracks the stock. And if the price of the stock is expensive, the option will be expensive. If the price of the stock is cheap, the option will be cheap. So I would say the best way to learn is focus on lower price stock, not penny stocks. Stay away from penny stocks. Focus on the big boys, where the funds are at, where the big boys put their money. AMD, Square, JD, or anything that you're into, whatever you like, and then use your analysis. Say, hey, based on this chart, I think it's going to go higher, and then see how much the at the money calls or puts are if you think it's going to go higher or lower. And if they're not expensive, take a shot. And if you lose money, it's okay. You got to learn.
Okay.
And it can go to, remember, the amount of money you put in an option. If the option is $100,
mm-hmm.
the most you'll lose is 100 if you just buy one contract. If the stock goes to zero and you have a call, You're not gonna you don't destroy your account like trading equity or shares. So your risk is maxed out at the amount you put in. If you want to go that route.
Okay.
It's a learning lesson. It's a great way to start, even though that's not. You have to fine tune your process of how you go about figuring out whether or not you even want to go long or short.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man, options are like really interesting, and I like them a lot too. And I started doing them, dabbling with them, and you don't need a lot of funds to start with. I started like $10 and stuff, and just buying contracts and stuff, and it went up to like 150 bucks, and then
That's
it went
crazy.
down.
The fact that you started with 10 and you even made money is absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. That's awesome. That's great. I would say the minimum you should put into an account to be able to really see it through, realize that you're going to take some lumps, and have an amount where you can actually buy some is, I would say, if you really are interested in the stock market, put some skin in the game, put $1,000 in an account if you can, and $1,000 that you're willing to lose, not that you are freaking out about. Like, I have money in the bank, I have income coming in, I have this extra $1,000 I want to put to my side hustle, and I'm okay if I lose it all. I will not freak out, because then you can actually play. You know what I mean? You can buy call an apple for $200, and if it goes to zero, then remember, you're trying to learn. You're not trying to make $1 million. You have $800 left. All right, let's try to figure this out. Okay, I like AMD. I think AMD is going higher. Buy a call. You make $50. Like, all right, I made some money on that one. I'm still down a little bit. You have money to work with. If you put $200 in an account and you buy buy a $200 call and it doesn't work out and it's zero, you only had one trade. You didn't You got to be able to have enough money to take numerous trades. So that would be my recommendation, just so you can play the game a little bit. Because remember, you're playing against guys that have billions of dollars. There's a reason they have billions, because they can't succeed on hundreds. Mm-hmm. They need to be able to take lumps. So this game takes money to make money. So if you can put a little bit up, it's worth it, because you can take more than one shot at stuff and learn.
Awesome. Let me ask you a question. So, what are the top books that you've read, that actually helped you out, that inspired you, and that you constantly read back to, things like that you like in books?
So sadly enough, I don't read as much as I should, but I can kind of spin this off into a podcast. There's a podcast I listen to religiously.
Joe Rogan.
I listen to Joe Rogan a lot, but there's another one. It's called How I Built This. It's a show about a guy who brings on very successful entrepreneurs. Every big name company you've heard of, he brings them on and he talks to them about how they went from nothing to building that business. Wow. It's amazing. And he brings a lot of big guys on there, and you hear their journey of all their struggles, their failures, their successes. It's called How I Built This by Guy Raz. I listened to that. I've listened to almost every single podcast that guy's ever put out.
Does he have a YouTube channel that he posts all of his?
He doesn't have a YouTube channel. It's specifically podcasts. But if you were to just Google it, How I Built This by Guy Raz, there'll be all the podcast links. That's been my book, because I listen to it every time I have the notifications on, and anytime a new podcast comes out, I get notified. I listen to it.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. So that podcast. Of course, you got the Gary Vee.
And Gary Vee, yeah.
Yeah, although you also follow Grant Cardone. So yeah, you into like all this, we all know them, and that
really awesome. All the guy, Tom Bilyeu, the guy who started Quest Nutrition, follow him a lot. There's a lot of guys, Ed Milet, the guy who's a finance guy who's super successful, like Dean Graziosi, the real estate guy, like all these guys in this world, they're cool, but eventually you can't listen to them all day, every day. You got to just go do something yourself. I still listen to them. Believe me, don't get me wrong. I'll throw up a video in the background just to hear them. But you can only latch onto it all so much. It's all, the information is all the same. It starts to get repetitive. Work really hard. Be super passionate. Sacrifice. Work really hard. Give it all you got. It's all the same thing, and now you just got to go learn by trying.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Eat, trade, sleep.
Eat, trade, sleep. Like it's. Got it. Yeah. Well, Jason Bond, penny stock.
That commercial. Yeah.
He's the biggest. He's an interesting guy.
Eat, sleep, trade. Eat, sleep.
Every YouTube video you go on, it's him.
Yeah.
The other guy. I'm the most profitable money options trader. I don't even know what that means. Real money options trader. Like
Yeah.
everyone else is paper trading. Real money options trader.
That's the option speculator, is that?
Yeah. There's a lot of scammy stuff online. That's a little sketchy.
Yeah, for sure, man. But if you actually do your own research and do your own due diligence, as they say, you can learn this stuff and paper trading it and really taking one step at a time and not really risking a lot of stuff. And that's advice, for the majority of people that want to start. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, Matt. But did you have any closing statements? Tell us about people to follow you on Instagram, Twitter. We have 10 minutes. If the people that are watching have any questions for Matt, you can drop them in the comment section.
Yeah. But feel free to follow me online. Like I said, if anybody ever wants to talk, it's good to have a friend who's trading. Whether it doesn't matter your experience level. If you're at a 0, that's okay. In order to get to 1, you have to talk to somebody who's ahead of you. And if you're at a 10, it's better for somebody who's at a 5 to talk to you too, because it's constantly getting ahead. So regardless of the experience level, Twitter at the Matt Diamond, my Instagram account. I think it's just my name.
Yeah, definitely. That's.
I don't even know my exact handles. I mean, you can message me. What is it? Just because I don't know. Matt_Diamond.
Yeah.
And just message. We can feel free to talk. I got no problem talking about trading, anything else.
Yeah, awesome. Because you replied back to added you on Instagram. Dave is saying, awesome, Matt's Instagram. Look at that. Look at Jose, man. You're doing his magic. Working his magic, man.
Yeah.
So, Jose, you're not going to give away any DVDs on my live stream, bro? Come on, man.
Nah, not on your live stream, only on mine. Saturday night, Rico Suave.
No giveaway on my live stream, man. I should do a giveaway, man.
You gotta come up with your own goodies.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I do too.
Oh, you do giveaways too?
No, like I have to figure out my own goodies too.
Oh, okay.
I don't do anything.
It makes people happy, So.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, dude. But Jose, man, you can definitely start a business on eBay. You have all these DVDs if you want. If you want to sell, some of the DVDs. Yeah. That's you want to flip them. That's an awesome way to start.
I'm gonna try options the next time on Robinhood. Put a couple $100 in there, or whatever. So I know how to lose money now that you explained that. How do you make the money though? Like how much? So like I buy a call or I buy a put, right? Or a call.
Yeah.
And the price of the stock goes to that price and above.
Yeah.
So the price above the price my strike price, that's my profit, right?
Essentially.
Okay.
And it depends on how long you're trying to hold it for, right? Like if you're trying to hold it until expiration, it usually has to close. Typically, a rule of thumb is saying like it has to close the amount you paid for it above the strike price in order to be profitable. So if you are trading an Apple call, right, and Apple is 200, and you buy Apple for $2. It's got to go to 202 or higher in order to be profitable. But that's if you're waiting till expiration.
Gotcha.
If you're just short-term trading, there's going to be pops in volatility where it gets into profability. That's where I
go ahead and sell it.
Yeah, that's where I take the money because of those quick pops. I don't hold because it could pop and then never come back to where it went to, right? And then you lose.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's where I arbitrage it because when I have a quick move and I see the volatility spike and I look at I see the profit spike fast, I take profits. I don't hold it.
Yeah.
If you're waiting till expiration every single time, you got to have decent moves, and that's hard because it's hard to say, all right, it's going to move $5 today, and then it's going to also stay $5 higher in 4 more days. Trump could tweet something, and the whole market could fall apart.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
No, I don't know that there's headline risk every day in this market. I don't know if you guys follow every day like I do, but Trump will tweet something and the market will go down 300 points.
Yeah. And then what kind of a naked option is your favorite? The calls or the puts?
I trade both very actively.
Oh, okay.
It's what you want to know what it is? Calls are long, puts are short.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Calls mean that you make money when the stock goes up. Puts mean you make money when the stock goes down. So I don't have a favorite. What I do is I just focus on the technicals of the chart, and then I choose one accordingly. That's it.
Why is Daniel
I
laughing?
don't know. He's dying.
I just came up with I need to get a naked kitty option.
Okay.
Well, that's what they call them, right?
Dude, I was dying.
No, what's that?
I had
You got the joke, Jose? I said I need to get a naked kitty option. You get that joke?
Oh no! I was asking him like when trading naked options.
No, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the thing.
I was just
Typically I like the short just because when I focus on stocks that are bad news or they're in a downtrend, they move down a lot faster than they move up. So I guess that's a short-term answer. I usually, I like to short a little more than I like to go long, but I don't approach it like that. I just look at what's going on in the market. The market is ripping to the upside. I'm not going to try to short that, and if it's selling off really hard, I'm not going to try to go long, especially on a short-term basis.
Okay, and if you follow the news like I do Wednesdays, I do I got you, Daniel. Wednesdays I do the news, right? So I'm like, like I don't know, pick Alibaba, right?
Yeah.
Right now it's on the uptrend because they talking about trades again, but soon it's gonna go down again. I'm sure.
Maybe it could go up.
I'm sure of it because they're not going to come to any agreement or anything like that.
Probably not, but they may. So Trump will tweet that we're making progress, and Alibaba ripped 6 points in a day. You never know.
But what I'm saying is, like, for me, that I believe is going to go down.
Yeah. Okay.
I will go in and I will buy a put on Baba at a certain strike price.
Yeah.
Right. And if it goes below that strike price plus the cost that I pay for the the option, then that's my profit.
That's a general rule of thumb. That's just an easy way to simplify it. There's a lot that goes into it. Like if you were to buy an option around earnings, that changes because there's so much going on because they usually make the price of the options very expensive during earnings because a big move is about to happen.
Yes.
But that's complicated. To simplify it, yes. So if you want to buy a put, then you could do that and you need a decent move. Remember, it can't, like if you were to buy a put out of the money, and it moves a decent amount, there's a good chance that your option may not move much, So
what the hell? What does that mean out of the money?
Out of the money means it hasn't got there yet. So like Alibaba is currently trading at $180. If you believe the stock is going to go lower
to 175, for example,
bingo, that's out of the money because the price of the stock is not trading there yet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's got to go there. So it's got to go there in order to be in the money and then at the money. So,
okay.
So, and I'm watching somebody say you can still be profitable even if it doesn't hit the strike price. You can. It's not like you can't. But to keep things simple, right? You need a decent move, especially if you're going to hold till expiration. This guy, the guy who just went day trading, Chris, that's what I do. He said you can still be profitable even if it doesn't hit your strike price. That's what I take the profits, just like I mentioned to you in those quick spikes.
Gotcha. Yeah, but that's on calls. On puts, you need it to hit that strike price, right?
No, same thing.
Same thing.
Same concept both ways.
Both ways.
And that's how I do it because when I get a fast move in my direction, I take those profits. But remember, you also have there's another factor in options. The closer that they get to the expiration date, the closer they go to zero.
Okay, so all right, so
massive move. If you're going to hold till expiration, you need a
gotcha. All right, so let's say I buy a put
theta is the reason that it decays. Whoever that's due to high delta, it's the theta. Theta creates the decay.
Okay, so let's say I buy a put on Baba's trading at 180. I buy a put for 175.
Yeah,
expires in a couple days, right?
Yeah.
My call or my put doesn't go to 175, it goes to 177 or something like that at expiration date.
Yeah, you lose everything you put into that option.
Just the cost of the option.
Just the cost of the option. So let's say the option costs Let's say the option costs $150. You lose 150.
Okay, all right. But if the option's $20, I'm good to go with $20.
Exactly, but they most likely won't be because Baba is still somewhat of an expensive stock. It's like almost $200.
Yeah, I got you, but that was an example. So,
but yes,
okay, just so I understand what.
Yeah, you're getting it. Yeah, and here's the thing: the way you get better is to keep learning like this.
Okay.
Whether it be a conversation with somebody or reading a book or watching a YouTube video, and then also just you got to try it, right? You have to say, I'm just going to give it a shot. And if I lose money, I'm okay with that because I'm going to learn.
I think I want to try it, man. It's interesting now. Yeah, the more I understand it, the more interested I get into it.
That's it. Yeah. If you make a directional bet, you just put in what you're willing to lose and just watch the market and see how it plays out.
Yeah, awesome.
It's tough though. Remember, most options expire worthless, so you have the percentages against you when you hold them till expiration.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So thank you. Yeah, that was a great question, Jose, that you asked. And Shane is saying followed and subbed on everything. Matt, you are killing it, man. Very inspirational. I mean, damn, man. I mean, damn. Ah, you said that. So Chris is saying otherwise, you can lose. Be careful with selling options. You could lose more. Day trading with Chris, sell to open. Yes, yeah, definitely.
This is going to be, if you're not familiar with options, it's going to be complicated. So don't worry so much about the complications of them right now. Just focus on choosing a direction because you have a bias because of a reason, and then execute the trade. And if you lose money, make sure the money is money that you're okay losing.
Okay.
Don't worry so much about the complicated stuff that some people are going to talk about. You have to start with step one.
Yeah. Just regular puts, regular calls.
Try, because if you go from 0 to 100, you're going to be like, this is too, once again, focus. It's going to be confusing. Yeah. If you keep going back to the focus thing, focus on the directional. Even if you lose some money, you got to try, right? And then build from there.
Awesome. Okay. I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, guys. Well, thank you for joining us a lot. We appreciate it. If you have any questions for Matt, you're welcome to drop it. You dropped all of his social media links. You can go and subscribe to his channel. Also, go subscribe to Jose's channel if you don't have him. If you have any last questions, closing statements from Matt. He said follow us, call him on Instagram, on Twitter. If you have any questions, he's more than willing to respond, to talk to you, or answer your questions. And any closing statements, Matt? Do you want to say anything?
I think we talked a long time, so I think I pretty much said everything. But just, you got to try, right? So just some basics. If you work a job and you're trying to start a business, don't quit your job, right? And if you do get another one that allows you to work your hustles on the side still, don't ever just go completely burn the ships like I did, because it's very stressful. And make sure that you keep your overhead as low as possible when you jump into something. Make sure you surround yourself with people who understand your journey or are going on their own. And when it comes to trading and anything like that, just take it easy and go into it slow, and try to network with people who are doing it already so you can learn. And that's where you can feel free to message me if you want to talk.
Awesome. Yeah, go follow him on Instagram, Twitter, and his YouTube channel too. Kevin is saying awesome learning season. It's session, one step at a time. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey man, any closing statements, Jose? What you want to say? What's up upcoming thing that is popping up on your channel this Monday?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, first I want to thank Matt Diamond for joining us tonight, man. I learned a lot about options. I'm actually excited. I got a $15 on Robinhood.
I'm not a pro. So I did the best I could with what I know.
Yeah, I got about $15 on Robinhood. I'm gonna go play. Turn that into 1,500.
No, a million, 10x, million bucks.
Yeah, 10x that bad boy. But I appreciate you guys, everyone that tuned in, and Matt, of course. And tomorrow is Monday, so Why We Buy episode 9 is going to be on Tesla. A lot of people are excited about it. So tune in tomorrow night for to my channel to see Why We Buy episode 9. And the following episode, Why We Buy episode 10, is going to be on CVS, because that was, like a very requested stock as well. So
nice.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Oh, look at that. Gen X Dividend Investor, man. Thank you for still watching. We appreciate that. Davis name Cult Stock CVS next. Come on, man. Oh, Dave, we appreciate that, Gen X Dividend Investor. We appreciate it. Love to have you on pretty soon in the future, too. But thank you, guys. We really, really appreciate it for people that participate in the live stream, that ask the questions. And we'll see you on next. What is that? Thursday. Yeah, Thursdays and Sundays. That's when we do the live stream. 8:45 Central Standard Time. And you guys have a wonderful night. And thank you, Matt, again. And thank you, Jose. And
thank you, guys.
Hi, guys.
Appreciate it.
See you.
See ya.
All right, yeah. Yeah, don't close out, Matt.